Hola.
Hi.
Bienvenidas a Super Mamás.
Super Mamás.
This is Paulina.
And this is Bricia. We're moms and sisters.
I have two beautiful girls, Krista, who's 4, and Sabina, who's 1.
And I have a handsome baby boy, Eduardo Santiago. And we welcome you to the Super Mamás Sisterhood.
We're here to help one another, inspire one another, and support each other through the ups and downs of motherhood.
I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Okay, ¿listas?
Here we go.
Hola, Super Mamás. This week on the podcast, we are going to tell you all about our experience at the We All Grow Summit. It was such a fun experience. We are going to go off on it. We're going to tell you all about it.
And we have a great guest. Alicia del Valle is here with us. Alicia is not just a single mom, but an amazing person. We are going to talk about family patterns, about being generous, about judgment, about staying strong with your family. I mean, we go deep into so many different issues, and I cannot wait to share the story with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing good.
How are you doing, Paulina?
I'm doing really good. We had another fabulous weekend. We came back from the We All Grow Summit, which was it was such a good experience.
It was so much fun.
It was I'm gonna be super honest. Before going there, I was very nervous and I didn't really know what to expect. Everybody was hyping it up so much. I felt a little intimidated because I felt like a lot of these girls already had previous friendships and we're so new to the whole thing. But when we got there and I went to my Disneyland trip.
Oh yes, you went to Disneyland. That's right.
I did, with a bunch of
your dream came true.
Yes, I did. I actually got to go on the rides for adults this time. It was fun. Everybody was so nice. All the girls, and I met girls from all over the country. Shout out to all of the girls that went with me to Disney, and it was so much fun. And we just kept. I just felt like I knew all of them from a long time, and we made friendships. And then we went back to the actual summit, and we met some of our super mamás. Shout out to Lola's Cocina, 2+ Luna, Artelexia, Betsy, Linda, and we had so much fun. I haven't had that much fun in a long time. It was Mom's Gone Wild.
I'm just gonna call out Lola's Cocina and 2+ Luna. We turned up. You ladies are listening right now and you're probably laughing. You're like, dang, God, my husband can hear this. You guys turned up.
We all did.
We turned up.
We did.
Hope we don't get kicked out of the summit.
I hope they invite us back.
I know they're gonna be like,
I'm so sorry, Anna, but we had a lot of fun. The first night we had some really, really deep conversations.
Yeah,
it was a really, really good night. We had some really good, intimate, deep conversations, and just to be surrounded with like-minded people, it's really, really fun. It was so much fun. I want to do it again. I'm having withdrawals.
You're so funny.
No, I was texting with the girls all weekend, and we're like, "Oh my God, we gotta do this again. I miss you. I miss." I mean, I feel like I know Lola for ever, and she's my homegirl now. And Lendi, 2+ Luna, also
I know you were Lendi was asking me who's Lendi? She's 2+ Luna. I'm oh, 2+ Luna. Yeah. That's just how I know these girls' names. Artelexia. I know her name's Alexia because it's a play on her name, but I just refer to everybody Crafty Chica. What's her name? I don't know. Her name's Crafty Chica. And I was like, oh my God, Crafty Chica, hi, I love your stuff. I didn't want to seem just oh my God, I love you, But it's just crazy how we grow these relationships virtually. Right. We've never met in person, and yet when we meet in person,
I know.
it's almost like we've known each other for a long time.
I know. I know. And each one has their own, like, they're exactly like what I expected them to be. You know, like Lola with her fabulous hairdos every day. I was like, how did that happen? And you know, it was just so much fun. And also like the speakers. I think the one that impacted me the most was Rosie Rivera, which was very unexpected. Because when I saw her name, I was like, Rivera. You know, I was like,
oh, I had no idea who she was.
I was like, I was judgmental. I'm gonna say I was. But then after hearing her, I was like, you're my new hero. I love you, Rosie. It was so good and so inspirational what she had to say.
Yeah, she was great. And I think she's coming out with a book that's called Broken Pieces. And it's about the time when she went through sexual abuse and all like the story. And I was listening to her speak and I had no idea who she was.
Me either.
And she kept talking about her sister and when her sister passed away. And I was like, no, that's really sad. And then like later I was like, wait a minute. And she kept saying, you know, when you were a Rivera. And I'm like, okay. And when you were a Lopez, like, you know what I mean? Like I was just kind of like whatever about it. But then I realized I was like, oh, Rivera, sister passed away. I was like, I think that's Jenny Rivera's sister. And then I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
I know. And she was very straightforward and she spoke her mind. Like she didn't care. You know, she was like, this is what I like and I don't like. And I think she made like one of the most powerful speeches. We didn't stay for the storytellers, which were like about life experiences. But from what I saw, I think Rosie Rivera was like, wow, I was very taken away.
I know. I wish I would have done through the entire summit weekend.
Me too.
Unfortunately, you know, we had to go back to our children.
I'm going next year though, for sure.
I put it in my calendar like, honey, this weekend I'm gone the entire time.
And it's such a beautiful place. Like, who thinks of Long Beach as this cute place, right? And it was so nice.
Yeah, Long Beach is great.
I know. I didn't even know. Sorry,
I'm like, I need to go. Sorry, LBC. But Long Beach was, even being there, I'm like, I'm going to go with my husband more often or stay. You know, stay in the hotel with the kid. You know, or go to the aquarium. I hear the aquarium is beautiful. I'm like, I've never been to the aquarium. My friend's like, you haven't? I'm like, no. She's like, girl, you need to go to the aquarium.
I know. It was a very, very good event. I think Ana Flores is amazing, and she put together a really, really good event. And it's only her second year, so more power to her.
I know.
We should have her as a guest.
Oh, I cannot wait to have her here so she can tell us her story and how she came to do everything. But I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was such a well-produced event. I cannot wait to go back. And if anybody has heard of the We All Grow Summit and has always kind of be hesitant of purchasing tickets, or if you guys have never heard of it, I encourage you all to visit their website, We All Grow, and as soon as the tickets go on sale, you guys, it's so well worth it.
It is.
Well worth it.
It is. What else did you do this weekend? I heard your baby got sick.
Yeah. It was, so we were there Friday, right? All day Friday. And then Saturday, I stayed home because my husband had errands to run. And then my girlfriend Lisette came over and then went to have lunch. And I took the baby out and I was feeling a little not 100% because of the turning up I did on Friday. But Lisette came over and she was totally like helpful. And then Sunday, he woke up with like a huge like running nose.
Fue tu culpa. Fue el aire.
I know. Fue el aire. I really felt like guilty. I'm like, here I am turning up with Lola's Cocina and, you know, 2 plus Luna. And my poor kid got sick, you know, but I mean, he wasn't like fully sick. He had he had just like had like a hint of fever. Oh. And then he had like running nose. But you know how when they feel sick, it's like their running nose and then their eyes look like very like
poor thing.
But we stayed home and with my husband all day yesterday, and we gave him you know, like euthanasia, and he loves lemon.
Oh,
he loves lemon. It's so weird. I squeeze a little lemon and give him with a spoon. I guess I have in my head, le está cortando algo. I don't know if it even makes sense or not, but
with honey.
I didn't give him honey. I just gave him the lemon with a little euthanasia, and he makes a funny noise, but he wants a funny face, but then he wants more.
Oh, cute.
Le gusta sufrir. But yeah, I did that, and then again, I was with my husband. For Saturday night, my husband went out with a friend, and last night before going to sleep, I binged on House of Cards.
I haven't started. Ooh. Oh God, I haven't started. Don't even tell me.
It's so good.
I haven't. I cannot wait to see Claire Underwood.
Good.
Another one of my
Claire
idols.
Underwood. Oh my! It's one of my favorite seasons, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the moms that was over there, Maria Jose. She came out House of Cards. She had a cameo.
Oh,
and
she
was
did?
telling us all about it. And she was super excited. So I'm gonna watch it and see and look for her.
I wonder which episode.
I don't know. She said something about like a news conference, and she had huge glasses, and she did it very slow so you could see her.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about this whole thing. It was so funny. I haven't watched it, but when I came back, I was gone for 2 days, and I swear when I opened the door of my house and I saw my kids, I saw them so much older. It's
really
crazy. It's crazy because you see them every day and you don't notice. But then I didn't see them for 2 days. And then
because you were gone Thursday and Friday. Yeah, I was only gone for one day. I was only gone for Friday.
I left since like Thursday really early, like 5 a.m. So I came back until Saturday morning. So when I saw them, I saw Sabina with so much hair. Because you know how yeah, it was so weird. And she's like, Mama, Mama. And she ran to me. And now that she actually like walks fast, I was like, what happened? What was I gone for like a year?
You're like, I missed the most important part of her life.
I swear to God, I saw her like with a bunch of hair, toda mechuda, which is like, we call her pelonchis because she has no hair. And she had a whole bunch of hair. She was eating her yogurt on her own, and she was just walking around. And I was like, what? You grew up in like 2 days that I was gone. Like, and Krista, like I saw her so big, and it was crazy. It was so crazy to me to see them like that. It was the weirdest thing. I just wanted to say that it was so weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was because I was only gone for 2 days.
So today is raining in LA and like windy, which is completely unusual. This is one of those days that never exists in LA. So when I got out of the house, I have like one of those puffy jackets that Jackie gave me, your friend Jackie, our friend Jackie. And he was so funny because it was like he couldn't move his arms. He's like a little, like, he like just like can't move, put him in a car seat, and he's just like stuck in a car seat. Only thing he can move is like his eyes because he's just like stuck. But Erica sent me a picture today, and he was standing up in this little kitchen that they have. And I was like, oh my God, you are like, I mean, he's about to turn 1 in like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks.
Right.
But he looks like a 2-year-old.
I know.
I'm like, and then I see Patty's Snapchat stories, and, her baby's just very like, he's 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
know.
What happened?
I know.
What happened? Like, you were just like that 2 seconds ago. You were just like vulnerable and cute, and now you're just like pushing me away.
I know. Wait until he starts walking. Like, now I see like Sabina and Krista like hold each other's hands, and they just go off by themselves. They just start walking without me, and they leave me behind. Or like they fight or they play. Now they're like, she's like independent, which I'm glad, because I was afraid that she wasn't never going to be independent because she was so attached to me. But now, and it's funny because I'm in my room and I hear steps like, tuk, 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 and I'm like, I don't know which one is it coming now.
Aww.
Is it Krista or is it Sabina? And because they both, sometimes Krista walks slow and we have like the wood floor and you could hear it. But she tells me which shoe she wants to wear. Sabina, she chooses her shoes, and she loves shoes. Like, she cannot be without shoes.
Really?
She like wants me to put on her shoes. And I was telling my husband that I feel like because she sees Krista, but I feel like she does things way faster. She's learning to do things way faster. And it's kind of scary that I'm like, oh my God, what happened to my baby? She's gone. She's completely gone. Now I have a toddler. And I'm starting to think about the third one more and more now.
Okay, so I don't know what to say to that. I'm like scared to even think about the second one, just with everything that's going on right now with like daycare and everything. But today, you guys, we have a great show for you guys. I'm so excited.
Yes,
we have Alicia Del Valle here with us, and Alicia is a great friend of mine. I've known Alicia for, gosh, I don't know how many years now, but she has such an incredible story. She is a single mom, and, you know, God has gone through so much in her life, but, you know, now has a successful career in broadcasting. So we're going to have Alicia Del Valle here in a little bit, you guys. You guys are going to get to know her. And, yeah, we'll be right back.
We'll be back with her story, guys.
And we're back.
We're back.
And our beautiful, amazing guest is here.
Hi.
Can you want to say hello?
Wow.
Can you want to say hello, Alicia?
Hola. Aloha.
What's up, ladies?
What's up?
I am so happy you're here, Alicia. Thank you so much for being here.
No,
Thank you.
It's
You
an
and your
honor to
you
sit
and
in
your
this room.
entourage. This is like J-Lo coming into the studio
I
here.
wish.
Like, dang, okay.
I am
With your
Team
glam
J-Lo.
squad, like,
I wish,
like fix
girl.
my hair,
Bronzer. I need more bronzer.
highlight. That's a new bronze.
Yeah.
Highlighting is a new
It's a
bronzing.
new bronzing.
It is the key.
Strobing, right?
Strobing. And I'm a fan of the NARS.
Oh.
But you could use Bonnie Bell back in the day. That's really what it was. It was like strobing, but it was cheap. And can we just say, back in the day, J-Lo, when she was in New York and a fly girl, very light skin, very dark hair. She's the one who brought the tanning to the forefront.
And the bling.
The bling.
The bling.
The curves. She's an empire.
Man. We can have a whole conversation about J-Lo.
We just are
We
Oprah.
just actually had
Like, what does she drink that she looks like that?
You know what? She doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, and she gets 8 hours of sleep.
Ugh.
I don't smoke. I've got one on.
now back to the no drinking, and they get 8 hours to sleep.
You guys are famous for your micheladas,
I know.
so we'll talk about that in a bit.
Anyway, Alicia, thank you so much. For those of you
Thank
guys who
you.
are not from LA or who do not follow Alicia on Instagram, Alicia is a weekday morning traffic reporter for ABC7 Eyewitness News at 4:30, 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. Now, anybody who like has to go, what time do you wake up?
Well, see, I have curly hair, and my station likes me to straighten it. So the days I have to blow dry it, I wake up at 2 a.m., 2:15.
Oh, damn.
The days where it's, because I'll push this straight. Like, I'll leave it alone for
Dry
2-3
shampoo,
days.
girl.
Yes.
Dry shampoo.
Dry shampoo. There's one called
Yeah.
And on the days I run out, it's all about baby powder. I don't care. Like,
Oh.
sometimes I would rather have the 30 minutes of extra sleep.
Right.
So 2:15 to 3 a.m. is the latest, and that's pushing it.
3
Because I moved back
p.m.
to the east side. I'm about 25 minutes away from work. Our station's in Glendale.
Okay.
So I'm going to be moving to Eagle Rock soon.
Oh,
back
neighbor.
closer to station. Hey.
Neighbor.
So I wake up early is the point.
Really early. What time do you go to sleep?
Oh, is this thing on? Officially? I try to get in bed by 8:30.
Oh, wow.
So I could be asleep by 9.
Girl, that's the time I go to bed, and I don't have to wake up at 3 in the morning.
But I am a night owl. Like, my natural body clock is go, go, go.
Right.
And I don't have trouble sleeping because I'm going to get a bunch of advice. Everyone says, oh, drink milk, lavender baths. No, sleep is not the problem. It's getting my butt into bed. If I
Right.
ever wanted to hire an assistant, it's just so he or she could be like, go to bed. It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Come on, time for bed. Because I'm
Take your phone away, right?
Just like me with my
Right, I
4-year-old. Come on. Time for bed. Like PJs,
That would be me.
toothpaste. Let's
I'm the
go. Let's go.
I admit
We
it, I
are
don't
all
get enough
4-year-olds
sleep.
inside.
We are all.
Deep,
I
deep
think
inside, we all 4-year-olds.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
right.
So, Alicia, I am so happy you're here because, you know, Women's History Day is coming. I think it's Women's History Day, right? It's
Yes.
like it's coming soon. And I couldn't have thought of like a better description of like celebrating a woman than a single mother. Now, we were talking in the break, and I told you, and I've said this to our other guest who was a single mom here, that it's not fair that you guys get to share Mother's Day with the rest of us.
Right.
Because you guys need your own day. And I feel like it should be National Women's Day. It should be like /
like
Single
that.
Mother's Day. Because you guys are just I mean,
on a whole other
level. Like, I can't even, I feel bad if I complain in front of you because you're like, girl, you got a husband. Calm down. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Now, you were young.
Uh-huh.
I want to, can you tell your story, share your story with everybody? Because
sure.
I love your story.
Thank you, Mama. Okay, so I had my daughter unplanned with my boyfriend, and we were madly in love. We were super young and immature. And I even ran away from home. Who runs away from home at 18?
I did.
Latinas do. Yeah.
I did.
Because we're supposed to live with them until we're married.
I know, right? That's so funny.
And,
You're right.
We all raised our hands. So
like, yes,
I ran away from home at
me too.
18.
Me too.
So I could keep seeing them because my mom knew better. And
right.
I was, sprung.
Because we all know better.
Right? You don't know, Mom. I love him. So long story short, I had a beautiful daughter, my Rainy Paloma. And my world changed, as most women and some fathers as well. It became all about her.
Right.
So I had been drifting in and out of junior colleges and not sure what I was going to do. No one in my family had went to college, and my dad used to tell me, "Well, you like to talk and argue. You should go to law school." But there was no plan. Like a dream is just a dream if there's no plan, if there's no goal set. So
Right.
I floated, and my daughter's father is a good guy, and it was tough in the beginning because we were so immature and it was not planned. And I'm sorry, there's that whole mijo syndrome too.
Right.
Like, yeah, well, that's a whole other story, right?
That's another episode.
That's
Right.
another
He was
episode.
not ready to settle down or to support financially and to be there. Now, he always wanted to be a dad. In no way am I saying he denied being her father or anything. I don't want to use words like deadbeat or anything like that, but it was very hard financially. So I had to stay here in LA, and thankfully I had my family to help. And so that's my story. Is I had a lot of family. I relied on my mom so much and my dad. And it ended up working out, right? I mean, it took me a while to get through school, but that was my goal.
But you did it. You didn't give up, and
I
you kept fighting for your
didn't.
dream.
So many times I wanted to as
I
well. If I could say one thing to young women out there who maybe don't feel like they can finish or can't see the light at the end, it's worth it. Just finish. And a lot of times that's all employers are looking for is, did she finish college? Because it shows discipline.
Right.
And it's hard because you put in a lot of hours and a lot of time, but you're not getting paid. And so you have a kid and you're like, I need diapers. I need new clothes. I need, but you're spending a lot of your time studying or in a library or driving back and forth. I mean, I took my daughter to campus.
You did?
I did. I took her I dropped out of Mount Sac. I dropped out of Cerritos at Rio Hondo, which we call Harvard on the Hill. It's in Whittier. I finished there. I got my AA there.
I love it. Harvard on the Hill.
Harvard on the Hill. Hey, shout out Rio Hondo Roadrunners. And I had a great counselor there who I mentioned that my dream was to go to USC, but I had so many people tell me no way. No way could you afford it or get in.
Right.
And, it was known as like a trust fund baby school, which is not true, by the way.
I know. My little sister graduated from USC.
Well, all right.
Yeah,
Trojan family.
And she is not.
She's not. She's definitely not.
She's like on the other side.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So my counselor encouraged me, if that's your dream, you should apply. And I'm like, these roadblocks we put in front of us. I was one of those. I found roadblocks, and he basically nudged me and helped me get a voucher to get my application in at a lower cost, because once you start applying for schools, people don't know, or I didn't know, that it costs money to apply for school.
Right.
So all these things,
does?
learning.
It costs money to apply to preschool, so I'm assuming it costs money for college.
Oh
Yeah, but
my
that's a whole other
God.
thing. Like, who helped you with, like you said, you brought your daughter to campus, but
Sometimes
What did you do for childcare?
I had like a little 69 Beetle. Because, my family, Mexicanos, they can work on VWs because the parts were made in Mexico.
Right.
So anytime my car broke down, I was like, uncle, dad, cousin. Like, it was great having my Beetle. But when I pulled into USC, I'd park by like a Beamer, a Mercedes, really nice cars. But it was motivating, actually. It was very motivating. And USC was great to me. I from the moment I started, I loved it. I transferred in. I've always been young acting, so people didn't know that I was a single mom. And so during rush week, they'd be like, approaching me like, have you thought about joining this? I was like, do you have childcare? And that was like a little mean thing I would do. I know, and the faces that they would make, like, shock. But I
mean, you look like your daughter's age. Do you guys walk out and you're like, dang, like, it's like my sister? It's the alcohol that keeps you young?
I know. It's preserved. That's what my dad says. I'm preserving myself. No, this really is just cafe. When I graduated, I actually, you go through two. I went through back then it was the Mexican American Alumni Association. Now we've evolved to the Latino Alumni Association because there's just so many Latinos that go to USC now. Mm-hmm. And they're a great organization. And I walked with my daughter on stage.
Oh, you did?
So 2 or going to be 3. Wow. And she was obsessed with Mulan. Remember the cartoon Mulan?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So she was wearing a little like Asian dress with her hair in a bun and her sandals from Payless. And she was like a princess.
You walked with her on
I went
stage?
to Chinatown, got her a dress because she wanted a dress like
That's
Mulan.
so cute.
I want to cry.
I did.
Did you
I walked
cry?
with her. Oh, I cried. She was shy at first, but
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's why I did it, right? That's why
and she's
didn't
gonna
quit.
have that always in the back of her mind. She's always gonna have that, and she's gonna say like, "Oh, my mom did it. Like, I can do it." Like I think that's the kind of thing that we wanna like transfer to our listeners. Like, you are the inspiration of your kids, so you gotta take care of yourself and follow your dream, so the kids can see you and say, "I want to do the same thing." Mm-hmm. Just be an inspiration.
So often as moms, we put our kids first all the time.
Yes.
It's like, it's innate. And I feel like a lot in our culture is because we see how our moms gave up everything for us.
Right.
It's not common to see kind of like our generation that our moms, the generation before us, really pursued their dreams. It's not as common.
No, you're right. And
so we see that, and then we don't give up our dreams for our kids, so we feel so bad. But then we forget that that's not the way it should be. We should follow our dreams, and we have to work double, like triple as hard, but that's because our kids have to see that.
Exactly.
Right? And now your kid's going to college.
Yes, she is. She's so I'm the first one in my family to graduate from college and university. Thank you. Fight on. And my daughter is the first one to go away to school, like to leave, because I commuted. I moved back home once I got into USC because it's so expensive.
Right.
And that's how my parents couldn't afford to help me pay for it, but they helped me with childcare, with groceries, with, I needed sleep because I was also working. I was doing morning radio back then and going to school and then bartending a few nights a week at Havana House in Uptown Whittier. So you do what you have to
hustling.
Do. Oh, I'm a grinder.
Okay. So then how did you do your day back then?
How did I do it? Coffee.
No, but do you remember that hustle?
I know. I just had a drive, and I don't know if I could do that now because I'm older, but back then it was just what you did. Like, I just had to do it, and I mean, if she got sick in junior high. She got thyroid problems, and she's a thyroid cancer survivor.
Your daughter?
And
then you have to go through that.
But luckily, Children's Hospital found it before it spread or anything. So no chemo, no radiation. They cut it out. Wow. And when they took out her thyroid, it was like a foot long. It was gross. It was my poor baby. I'm going to cry. So she's gone through a lot that I can't even complain, Like you're being teased at school and kids are mean. And so I'm like, where was Super Mamás back then? I could be out there complaining. Get your kid. Tell him to act right.
Oh, my God. We haven't gotten to that stage yet.
And how it starts at home a lot of times.
How did you deal with that?
How did you deal with that?
I rely on my family so much. My best friends are my family, my cousins, my sister. I'm a godmother of 3, and my comadres are like my family,
Right.
So I'm very fortunate. I know not everybody has that system behind them. Mm-hmm. And I say, if you don't have this, you got to find it.
Right.
There are a lot of like women like you. This is why you have your podcast, your show, right?
To
help women who maybe get confused or get stuck or don't know where to go. And I'm so grateful you guys have this. It's been over a year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. But how did you react when your daughter would come home from school being teased, and what did you tell her? Because my sister has 2 daughters. I have a son, but I know that teasing, I mean, it goes both genders, but women, I mean, once we reach puberty, that's it for us. Like, our self-esteem goes down.
Can I just say, so I was bullied in high school. Senior girls hated me in high school. I remember eating lunch by myself in the library once. Like, that was the lowest, because I'm a social person. I'm a nice person. I don't go around trying to start. But my daughter, and even your daughters, will have it, the younger generation will have it worse because of social media.
Exactly. That's what I'm afraid of.
They can't escape it. When I got home, it was my sanctuary. I didn't have, Snapchat and Twitter.
They didn't follow you home.
Facebook berating me. Yeah, it did not follow me. When I got home, I was okay. Nowadays, that it's torment 24 hours. And I say, this is just my opinion, that it's okay to go on your child's account. It's okay to check it. You have to.
Right.
Because you don't know what they're going through. A lot of times it's tough. I know I didn't talk to my mom when I was a teenager. I was like, you don't know. And now I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. She really did know.
Yeah, exactly.
And now my daughter, she went through that where I couldn't understand. She thought I couldn't understand. And now that she's older, she's like, I'm sorry. Thank you for always standing by me. A lot of times I wanted to go to the parents of these kids. I'm like, do you know what because we know who they are. And she would be like, no, you're going to make it worse. So there was that fine balance. I will say, once I started Channel 7, ABC, I moved. So maybe that was a blessing. And I'm telling you, the universe, if you ask for it and you work for it, it gives it to you. And it was great timing that she was going through this, her first year in high school. And I got the job at Channel 7 and I had to move. So I got to take her out of school, and she went to a Catholic school, Immaculate Heart, which is a great school. And that didn't happen anymore. Oh, yeah.
Good.
And she got healthy and healthier. So.
I know. Like, even with all the stress and everything that we go through, and then still have to think about maybe moving your kid again, because it happened to somebody that I know, that her daughter was being bullied, and she was like, you're out of here. Like, I'm gonna take you out of here. So like, looking, if it's already hard enough to look for a school for your kid, once you find it, and if your kid's having problems or being bullied, looking for another school and going through the same thing,
it's then you become the new kid, and that's hard. You gotta hope that. Well, I will say that my daughter's doctor, when she was a baby, said because I was like, I want her to be smart. What can I do? Are there supplements? Right? You asked your doctor. Did you ask your doctor that? How can my baby be smart? And he said, read to her and teach her to self-soothe. And I didn't even know what that meant back then. I mean, I was young, tonta. Now I understand what he meant, which is kind of, if something goes bad, even as a baby, they say, like, let them cry. You can't be there all the time. They have to learn to self-soothe. They have to learn whether it's count to 10 or take a deep breath. Or it really is important, because that will translate later through life. My daughter's very strong, and she's quiet and not as loud as me, but she's definitely strong inside. And that's one thing that I wanted her to be, so that bad things are going to happen to everybody. We can only control how we react, right? So read to your kid and teach them to be strong from a very early age. And there are kinds of books and podcasts and stuff on that as well.
And communication, I think. Also, like, that's a huge difference between our previous generation and our generation. It's like, I know you said you didn't talk to your mom. I didn't either. Like, I didn't talk to my mom. I thought she was like the enemy.
Didn't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She doesn't understand. She doesn't get me. And also because there's a lot of taboos, a lot of subjects that we don't touch since very young in our community. And I think now it's speaking to the kids since very early also, like, helps them understand and know that it's okay for me to come to my mom and tell her how I feel. There's nothing wrong, and there's no shame in talking about certain subject.
That's the key
because
word.
we shame it. We shame it. And so it's hard. Like, for me, it's hard. Like, I have very little small children, and it's hard because I still have that in my head, that there's shame around certain subjects, and maybe I shouldn't talk to them about it. So it's like an everyday thing that I have to work through and say, no, it's okay for me to talk to her about certain things. Or
that's so important. I did that with my daughter. As tough as it was to have conversations like that, I don't know. I'm just going to say this. I could say anything here, right?
Oh, girl.
Anything, girl.
When my daughter was little, and it was a couple of years before she started going with her dad on weekends. And so that was a big deal for me because, I mean, I breastfed her for a year. She never even had a bottle. So we were together all the time. And then she went from from my breast to the sippy cup. And then she could finally start going with her dad as long as he was at her grandma's house, right? He calls me up one day and he's like, how does she know the word vagina? And I'm like, that's what it is. She shouldn't know that word. I'm like, but that's what it is.
That's what it's
because
called.
that was shameful growing. We couldn't even talk about anything, body parts, sex, nothing. And I think that hurt me growing up. I had uncles take advantage of me when I was younger, and I was not allowed to talk about it. It was brushed under the rug. So I did it out of necessity. I did not want that repeated.
Right.
So I taught my daughter from a very early age, we're wiping this, and giving her the proper names of her body, so that it was not a taboo to be able to say if someone were to try to hurt her or touch her inappropriately, I would hope that she would be able to be vocal about it, because I was not allowed that freedom. I was not taught that freedom.
I know what you mean. This past weekend,
sister.
I had a similar conversation with a girlfriend about this, and she said that the same thing. She was like, it's just, I think when the kids are shamed on it, then if somebody like abuses that, they're like, I can't talk about this because it's shameful. It's shame and it's dirty, and I cannot say
dirty.
it.
I thought I asked for it. Like
exactly.
They all manipulation
so they're
in my
open
head.
since
And I didn't have
very
anything
young.
else to contrast that.
Yeah, so if they're open since very young, it's easier for them to open up to parents or somebody and say, look, this is happening, this is what's going on. I think it's a very strong tool that we can give our kids now.
Own your body. It's your body.
Right.
No one should be able to hurt it or take advantage of it or anything. And
That's amazing. And that's really hard to do
it is. Oh,
in our culture.
it was hard.
Because what would your mom say when you would say that stuff too?
By this time, they knew what happened to me, and so she understood the need for me to say that. But there were many years that they had no idea.
Right.
Even though it happened to me when I was in grade school, not until high school did my school I got forced to tell my parents. So that's another story. That's another episode.
You need to come back for part 2 because, girl, you are full of knowledge
I will
and information.
say, because that's why a lot of women hurt themselves is things that happen to them when they're younger, and they don't get to, they don't manifest it. They don't express it, And so that's another thing. I was like, arts, music. Like, I wanted her to have outlets. If bad things happen, how are you going to deal with it? What can you turn to? And I didn't have that. We were like, I loved sports. We were a sports-oriented family. So my parents are very good parents. They just didn't know.
Right.
They had no idea.
It's a completely different generation. Now, it's so funny how, like, when we have conversations, I'm like, what generation are you? I'm second generation, third generation, And, like, now we refer to each other as generations.
For sure.
But it's just the change between our parents and ours. It's so big. Like, our generations, not going back to the same word, like, have evolved so much. I was talking to my husband and I was telling him, do you know, like, my daughter's 4 and she learned, I know this is bad, but she learned to play or to use the iPhone, I don't know, when she was like 2.5,
It's not bad. That's just the way it is.
And then
there's no bad
my
reality.
baby, she's 1 and she's like pushing it. And I'm like, she is learning way faster. And that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary the way they're being, just open to all these new things, like that you're gonna, like, how are you ever gonna catch up?
But hasn't it always been that way? Like, I would say with our parents, maybe my grandparents were probably like, why are you carrying that phone around?
Right.
Like my dad still has a flip phone. My mom forced him to
get
a
phone. I met someone this weekend with a flip phone. I was like, what?
So he's like, fine, I'll get a phone, but I'm not upgrading to the craziness of the iPhone or the Android. And my dad is fine with his flip phone, but back then you couldn't make him have a phone. And then I bet my grandpa wouldn't want a phone. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's just the way it goes. Technology's for the young, but it's just at a faster speed now.
No, remember how they were like, it was the same baby. We saw this thing. It was the same baby. It says before, and he had an iPhone, and it says now, and they had the
virtual reality.
Virtual reality, and the baby was like 1 or like 2 and 4, like within 2 years, like. The huge difference of everything that's like how the world is changing so much, and how it's important. to learn to be in the present, I think, because we
to turn off sometimes.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's something that we should teach our kids too, because I think it will give them some balance.
Well, I have a confession then, because in my field, I have to post. It's very difficult to not post when we get rated now on social media. I'm not even supposed to say that. But we get ratings just like Nielsen ratings for television. They have them for social media.
Oh, wow.
And you can see daily your like comparison to people at your own station as well as people in LA. So it's very competitive. It's the future. and when I go talk to schools, I mentor a lot of young ladies, and I'm telling them at the same time you need to be present and turn off once in a while and pay attention to whoever you're at dinner with, or whatever. Have some kind of time throughout the day where you're not read a book, take a long bath, just turn your phone off. You need that. And they just look at me like, you're crazy.
They don't know
what the first thing you do when you wake up.
Oh,
phone.
yeah.
What's the last thing you do when you go to bed?
Phone.
So I think it's up to us to find times, to make times, to force them to turn off at least once a day. And that's something I could use.
Something.
How am I going to tell my daughter, you'd get more done if you weren't on Snapchat? And then she'd be like, really? Look at this tweet. Look at this Instagram.
Look at your Snapchat story, Mom. You were turning up last night.
Right?
I know what you're talking about.
Mom, really?
Yeah. So much to keep
Look in the
up
mirror,
with.
Mom.
Yeah. Now,
so
you
much
mentioned
to
that you're mentoring girls, and it's so cool, and it's so important that being so busy that you are right now. Now, I mean, I know your daughter's already grown, but you have your career. I mean, you wake up, you wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then you still make time to mentor children and mentor girls. Like, how did you start doing that?
I think it's important. I think it was probably instilled in me back in high school. I had a really amazing religion teacher, Mr. Giroux, rest in paradise. And he was very into social justice. And long story short, I started volunteering there, soup kitchen, which is, if you ever have a kid who is acting up and kind of self-absorbed, take them to the soup kitchen. I recommend high school and up, though. It's pretty traumatizing if you're really young and you can't wrap your mind around it. But there is where I first saw how many people have it so much worse than me. Whatever my problems I thought I had, not real problems, not in the real world. And so I remember after serving or speaking or whatever, you just feel better. It's like a win-win situation. The world is better if everybody volunteered and you feel better.
Right.
So there was a quote back in the day. Do we all love quotes here? We love quotes, right?
Yeah. We do quotes on our Instagram. Constantly.
There's a quote. What is it? I just lost it. It was about giving. It's gonna come to me. I need more coffee. But another quote is every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. So
I love that.
That's a good one.
No
It's
matter
really
what
good one.
you've done in the past, every day that you wake up is a gift, and it's a new day to turn a new leaf or start a new habit or make better choices or get rid of toxic friends. Whatever, every day is a new chance to do that.
Right.
So I was not always an angel. I was like hell on wheels in high school. I gave my dad premature gray hair. I was angry.
I'm there
about
with
things
you.
Really?
Oh, girl.
Cheers.
Me too.
Didn't I just tell you to run away at 18?
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
right.
I ran away to Mexico. Not just like I'm going to another country.
I went
Bye.
to blocks to my auntie's house. Oh my gosh.
So what would you tell that girl? Okay, so what would you tell that girl who was in your position?
I'm sorry. Be the person you needed when you were younger. That is the quote that stuck with me. And that is what I try to do. If I could just get one girl to take a deep breath and know that it feels like the end of the world, but it really isn't. Just one person to take, that's worth my spending time with young people. Or, I meet these young girls in South LA who, their boyfriends, the streets, they seduce you. If that's all you know, and you've never been to the beach, you've never been to Disneyland, you've never been to the snow, of course that's what's important.
Right.
I went through that.
Right.
And all you care about, but I love him. Even though it's toxic or whatever, that they need to know that the world is so much bigger.
Seriously, gets loud, like, shut up. No, you don't.
Yeah. Love. Como que love. No, seriously, like, so. And then, I still think there's so many, or we know there are so many underserved communities that don't have access to equality, like the equal kinds of having iPads and libraries that they can walk to or whatever. It's just tougher out there. Walk to safely in the evening when you have to finish a paper. Like there's just stuff that some neighborhoods don't have. And so we're there to try to catch them before they fall. It's a program. One of my favorites is the Neighborhood Academic Initiative. They're with USC. And they've been around 25 years. And nobody knows about them because they're just low pro. They just help in the South LA community. A lot of kids from Fauché and a lot of young men and women. A lot of foster kids as well. And it's Saturday school, basically, from 6th grade to 12th grade. If you finish, they have a 100% graduation rate, by the way.
Wow.
And they go to school at USC on Saturdays, and USC will help pay for your school when you're done.
Wow.
And even if you don't go to USC.
What's the program called?
Neighborhood Academic Initiative, NAI.
Okay.
So they are so successful that they just launched in East LA 2 years ago. So I'm there. I'm the witness to the first 6th grade class. So I can't wait. God willing, I'm around when this first 6th grade class graduates in 6 years or now 4 years. I'm so excited. I get the chills when I think of, there's a lot of organizations doing a lot of good. And sometimes you send a check or you donate and you don't even know where the money goes. This is one of those where when I got invited to sit in, I was like, oh my gosh, this changes families.
Right.
Because they give parenting classes. You have a lot of first generation kids here or newly transplanted. And they help. There's a woman I met who was excited she was a mom of a child at NAI, and she was excited to get her teeth fixed, and she became an advocate for her neighborhood in South LA. And now she's like social justice leader and helps other moms find health care or whatever it is they need, or bread baskets, whatever. And that's all because her child started attending NAI. It empowers the whole family from the inside out. They teach you about credit. I wish I had been taught about credit. Nobody taught me about credit in school. We need life lessons. Yeah, that's what NAI does.
That's incredible.
It's amazing.
It's a social work aspect.
We're gonna have
as
to
well.
link that up on our website too, supermamaspodcast.com.
Yeah.
That's why I was
guys,
asking you because we have the notes, and so people can refer back. And if anybody's interested in like joining the organization, that would be awesome. And it's great that it's important. Also, I think that another point that we are so blessed that we need to learn to give back.
Oh,
because it's the only way.
And being generous with everything that we have.
So important because it'll make us appreciate what we have.
Oh, for sure.
And if we start early, our kids are going to see that, and
it's a good habit.
It's a good habit to have.
Early.
And you have to start early, and you have to make it a habit of your life to be generous to people, because everything comes back to you anyway, And as a thing, it's like, if you help one kid, that kid's going to help 10 more kids.
Exactly,
and those 10 more kids are going to, and it's just the power of life.
And can I just, this is just my opinion, and not just at Christmas time, because I know that's like, it feels great.
Just all year long.
But all year long.
Right.
Like we do a food drive in June in the summer, because that's when food banks have their lowest, because they're trying to get to Thanksgiving when it starts rolling in again.
Okay.
But we do it because a lot of kids are no longer in school. And school is sometimes the only time they have meals.
Right.
So just remember that next time you're maybe feeling a little blue or down, go visit a food bank, go visit a soup kitchen, and trust me, your problems are not as bad as those who have to sleep on the streets or don't have enough to feed their children, or see veterans who fought for us and have no place to sleep. I mean, there's so many organizations that need your help, and there are two things you never regret: working out and volunteering. That's my motto. That is my motto.
You're
girl.
giving us all these good things.
Yeah, these are all tweetable quotes. These are all
Beautiful.
Instagram worthy. Thank you so much for coming in, Alicia.
Oh no, I admire
really
you guys so
appreciate
much.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you so
We're gonna
much.
take a
and
break.
Thank you. You
Thank
are going to
you.
inspire so many
So many
women
girls.
through this episode. Let's take a break, guys.
Cheers.
Do you remember when we used to drive? We did not drive. Do you remember we used to walk home from school?
Yes, I do.
What is the one thing that you can say that you still remember to this day?
Dude, I remember getting home and Mom was scrubbing the floors every time we got home. Always. And all that smell of cloro. I remember that smell like if it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mom was always con la jerga.
El jalador, la jerga,
yeah.
la escoba.
El
She
jalador.
had so many things, right?
Yes, el
Somebody
jalador.
asked me, what's a jalador? I was like, I don't even know. Do they even
A
exist
squeegee.
anymore? Yeah, but mom had a huge
A huge one, yeah. It was like a huge squeegee where she would like throw all this like, you know, water in the floors and then she would squeege it out, you know, and I just have that memory of her, and it's so embedded in my brain, and I'm so excited that we're partnering with 7th Generation now, and we get to have those same results that mom had with environmentally conscious products.
And they're not harmful for their kids. They don't have to smell the cloro like we did.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that we can do that.
I'm a huge fan of their products, and I especially love their dish soap. I mean, I know you use it a lot, Paulina, and we've spoken about the dish soap a few times here in the podcast, but I can't get over the dish soap. The dish soap is one, and the other one that I'm really loving this week is the hand soap.
Right.
The hand soap is so great because every time in the morning, before breakfast and after breakfast, I go to the restroom and I wash my baby's hands, and it's so great having a hand soap that I can use myself, and I can feel comfortable and I can feel at peace having it used with my baby. You know what I mean? Like it's because sometimes we have other hand soap that may not be good for a baby, and I love the fact that 7th Generation's hand soap can be used on both him and I.
Yeah, all their products we can be used with the whole family. We don't have to think about like kids this and kids adults this.
Right.
We can use all things for everybody.
Also, our brother just purchased his first 7th Generation detergent, and he loves it. So there you go, ladies. For more information on 7th Generation products, ladies, please visit their website, 7thgeneration.com, and 7th spelled out SEVENTH, generation.com. Oh, I feel so proud of myself. I can spell. So for more information, visit their website and
try their products.
Try their product. They're amazing.
They are.
And we're back, and we're back with our new segment that we have brought to you by 7th Generation, and it's called Patterns to Patterns. And in this segment, we ask our guest, what pattern do you want to break from an old generation? What? Because we're always working into reinventing ourselves, and you know, just not that we want to be different from our moms, because we were always our moms.
Yep.
Okay,
That's true.
It's not that, but there are certain patterns that we want to break in our family from other generations. So
always growing.
Always
right?
growing. We always want to grow.
Evolving.
So what is a pattern, a generational pattern that you want to break?
Patterns to patterns. I would say the first one that pops into my head is, I am a descendant of a long line of strong women, but I feel like we don't use our voice enough. I feel like we still allow hurtful relationships, that we don't love ourselves enough, and we'll take it. So we still do it all, but yet when it comes to personal relationships, and I'm talking like your partner, I really feel like I could grow there myself, as well as a lot of women in my family. We really need to speak up, use our voices, and demand and raise our expectations and expect better relationships, better loving, supportive, respectful relationships instead of patterns of hurtful relationships. Use your voice, ladies.
Use your voice.
Wow.
That's definitely a pattern. Thank you so much, Alicia, once again for being here. That's a great pattern to break, and I think
it is.
It starts with all of us, you know?
I agree. I'm going to work on that now.
I'm about to love myself right now.
Start dating.
Well, if you guys can have a single guy for my friend Alicia over here, please say. Her number is 818. No, I'm just kidding.
That can go. We have to date in the afternoon. Early dates.
Early dates. From 2
How
to 3.
can they find you, Alicia? How can they follow you? How can they find you? Give us all your info.
Well, if we're talking social media, I'm at
Yes.
ABC7 Alicia on Instagram, as well as Facebook, and on Twitter, ABC7 Alicia. And I got to start my Snapchatting. You ladies Snapchat?
Yes,
Girl, I
I'm
snap all day
behind. I'm
long.
so behind. I get a little tutorial.
Snapchat game.
I'm going to snap right now. Where's my phone? All right, Alicia, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you,
And we
ladies.
will see you
Thank you so much.
at 6:30, 4:30, and
4:35. I'm basically on 4:30 to 7 a.m.
I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 in the morning.
All right, girl.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
And we're back.
We're back.
Oh my gosh,
That was so
Alicia
good.
was so inspiring. She's gone, unfortunately. She couldn't stay for the pick a tip of the week. I hope you guys like our new segment, Patterns to Patterns.
I am loving it. I
Right?
am loving it. Yes.
Right? Like it kind of inspires me of just changing stuff about my life and evolving. I want to stop having a mean face. That's the pattern.
Wait. Fernando, did you hear that? We should write that down. Well, it's a record. It's recorded.
Hello, my brother should stop having a Fernando should stop having a mean face too.
What happened to him?
No, he used to be so happy.
I know.
He's like, F you. Okay, Paulina, do you have a pick or tip this week?
I do. This past Saturday, we had a birthday party,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the little classmates of Krista, and we're all in this like bilingual path. So I finally visited La Libreria.
Oh, yes.
There's this local bookstore here in LA, and I was blown away by the variety of books that they have in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So many books, so good books that I was like, I want to take one of each for home for my kids, because they're all the new literature for kids, and they have all sorts of books. They have Patty's Little Libros there, and it was so funny because I saw kids walking in directly going to the book, and they're like, Mom, look, I want La Llorona, I want this, I want that.
That's
I
so
know.
crazy.
I was so happy
That's so
for that. I was
good.
so happy. And so they have those books, but they have books for all ages. They have books for like high school kids and everything
Really?
in Spanish. Oh, yeah. And I was checking right now online, and they actually have them online. So they have a catalog online.
Oh my God, so good.
But if you live in LA, check them out. It's la-libreria.net.
Okay.
And it's such a cute store, and they're only open on the weekends, but they also have crafts for the kids while you're there shopping. So it was really good.
Do they offer daycare? Can I just drop off my kid and leave them for an hour?
I mean, I was shopping and the kids were playing the whole time, and it was so and the owners are such good people. They're really, really nice. So guys, check them out. It's La Libreria, and it's on Washington Boulevard. But that's my pick this week.
Nice. I have a pick this week. One of our mamas, Monique Cruz, at Monique NC on Instagram. I should call her Monique NC. Sent over these beautiful gifts. Thank you so much, girl.
Thank you,
Oh my
Monique.
gosh. Her store is called Salvage Goods.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking to their Instagram, and I went on their Etsy store. And
so cute.
they have so many different cute things.
I know.
Not just for babies, but also for us.
Mm-hmm.
And their website is salvagedrygoods.etsy.com. And they also have a little truck
I know
that goes around LA. I was like looking at her stuff. And she also has a YouTube channel that I'm going to link on her show notes that I was looking at. I looked at her last video.
I did see that one.
And
I know which one
she
you're
was
talking
showing, well, she wasn't showing how to put on tampons, but she was showing.
Reviewing.
She was reviewing tampons, pads, and
The Diva Cup.
The Diva Cup. And I had no idea what the hell a Diva Cup was. And over this weekend, I shared my like, I share this with the rest of the girls, and I guess I'm alone in this journey.
No, me too. Me
Okay.
too.
You and I are alone in this journey to where we were never like encouraged to use tampons
Right.
in our life. So this idea of even like using a Diva Cup, I'm like, what? But her YouTube channel is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
she talks about things, and I was like, okay. I this was just our third episode, but I really enjoyed, and it's in Spanish, so I really, it's in Spanish, English, and I really enjoyed watching her. I think she's so cute. She has a great personality, and and you guys know how I love my YouTube, so. So go check her out. Again, Salvage Goods on Instagram and salvagedrygoods.etsy.com, and subscribe to her YouTube channel.
Right.
Monique NC. Shout out, girl. Thank you for the beautiful gifts.
Thank you. We will post some pictures of all the things that you sent.
And
us.
thank you for letting me know about the Diva Cup. I don't know if I'm going to see if I can use it or not. I'm going to try.
I don't know.
I'm going to try. I mean, I'm just, you gotta,
No. I'm not saying like don't use it. I'm just saying like we don't even know how to use a tampon. Like how are we even gonna put that thing in there?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I gotta figure out what to do. They made me feel bad about using pads, okay? So now I'm gonna have to figure out, like, go on YouTube and like really study how to use a tampon, and maybe I should just go to Diva Cup if I might as well. I'm gonna invest all this time in my personal journey of our period journey, you know what I'm gonna do. But anyway, you guys check her out. She sent my baby this beautiful like bib that I'm afraid to use, but I'm like, just use it. It's a cute, so it's like super cute bib, and it's made out of like sarape kind of sarape like kind of pattern, like a sarape pattern.
Right.
Super cute. So I
know we got some headbands and they were so cute. And Mom's like, you know, like the totally Mexican thing, like no, para una fiesta, not every day, para ocasiones especiales, right?
Yeah, super cute. But go check out. But she has jewelry. I mean, it's so many beautiful things that you guys can go, because we're women and we like to shop. All right, ladies. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I am so happy we had Alicia. Thank you so much, Alicia, for coming, and thank you for sharing your story, and I hope all of you guys enjoyed it. I really want to have her back, because I feel like we didn't even get to the surface of her story.
Right.
All right, ladies. Well, we are out. But before, you want to share where everyone can find us?
You can go to our website, www.supermamaspodcast.com. And in there, we have a contact us. And then we have a link to the closed group. You just click on it and it takes you directly to the closed group. And you can join and, you know, join this sisterhood that it's forming. Mm-hmm. You can also follow us on Instagram at _supermamas, and on Twitter at _supermamas as well.
All right, and subscribe to our show, guys. Subscribe on iTunes or on Stitcher,
SoundCloud, whatever you guys want to listen to.
However you guys listen to, but share with a mama. Share it with a mom. Don't be stingy with us. Share us. Share. And again, shout out to Lola's Cocina and to Plus Luna. It was
and Artelexia and Betsy,
because it was so great meeting you girls this weekend.
It was.
To Plus Luna, thank you for putting up with me. And thank you to Ana Flores for putting on that incredible event and for making us part of it. We cannot wait to go back next year.
Yes.
We are out, ladies.
We're out. Have a great week, and we will see you back next time.
Next week.
Super Mama. Super Mama. Mom's Gone Wild.
Mom's Gone Wild edition.